Many older adults believe they are doing everything right. They follow routines that feel safe and familiar. But some habits don't protect you. They quietly work against you. Without warning, they drain energy. They dull motivation. They slowly shrink daily life. What makes this dangerous is how normal it feels. Nothing seems wrong at first. You wake up. You repeat yesterday. Days pass quietly. Then one day, joy feels distant. Simple tasks feel heavier. Social moments feel harder to reach. This doesn't happen because of bad luck. It happens because of unnoticed patterns. I've watched independent seniors change this way. Not suddenly. Slowly. They didn't feel sick. They just felt less like themselves. They moved less, without realizing why. They spoke less, without noticing the silence growing. They stopped trying new things. Not from fear. From comfort. Comfort can be dangerous when it never changes. These habits don't announce themselves as harmful. They arrive disguised as safety and routine. Over time, they can lead to fatigue. They can increase loneliness. They can reduce confidence. The most painful part is this. Many believe it's just normal aging. But it isn't always aging. Sometimes it's repetition without reflection. The good news is awareness creates choice. And choice restores control. Once these patterns are noticed, they can be softened. They can be adjusted. They can be replaced. Small changes can reopen space for strength and clarity. So before we talk about solutions, we must identify the causes. Let's begin with the first quiet mistake many people overlook. Number 1. Ignoring muscle strength. One of the most damaging habits after 70 is quietly avoiding strength. Many believe slowing down keeps them safe. Rest feels sensible. Movement feels risky. But this belief often works against the body. When muscles are not used, they weaken quickly. That weakness spreads beyond the arms and legs. It affects balance. It affects posture. It affects confidence. The body is designed to move every day. Even gentle movement sends an important signal. It tells the body, I am still needed. Standing up from a chair matters. Walking to the mailbox matters. Carrying light groceries matters. These actions keep muscles awake. They keep joints responsive. When movement is avoided, muscles hear a different message. They hear silence. Within weeks, strength quietly fades. Circulation becomes less efficient. Stamina drops without warning. Many older adults notice tiredness first. They assume rest is the solution. But often, inactivity created the fatigue. This is the hidden trap. Less movement leads to less energy. Gentle strength supports the spine. It supports balance. It supports everyday confidence. Muscle use also supports how the body manages daily demands. Simple tasks begin to feel lighter again. There is also a mental shift. Strength brings reassurance. People stand taller. They move with less hesitation. Consider a common situation. A retired man in his 70s felt unsteady. He stopped walking outside to stay safe. At first, it felt like relief. No risk. No strain. Months later, standing up felt difficult. Balance felt uncertain indoors. This change wasn't sudden. It crept in quietly. After encouragement, he began light leg movements at home. Nothing intense. Nothing rushed. Short walks returned. Daily consistency mattered most. Gradually, balance improved. Confidence followed. What returned wasn't just strength. It was trust in his body. This pattern appears again and again. Avoidance creates fragility. Strength does not require heavy effort. It requires regular use. Stretching counts. Walking counts. Lifting light household items counts. Consistency matters more than intensity. At this stage of life, strength has a different purpose. It protects independence. It allows choice. It preserves dignity. The body continues adapting, even later in life. It responds to what it is asked to do. Avoiding movement out of fear feels reasonable, but it often leads to greater limitation. Using the body daily keeps options open. It keeps life manageable. As we move forward, remember this. Strength loss rarely announces itself loudly. It begins quietly, just like the next mistake we need to discuss. Number 2. Talking only about illness and age. Another quiet habit shapes how aging feels every day. It begins with conversation. Many older adults talk mostly about pain and problems, medications, appointments, limitations. At first, this feels natural. Health is part of daily life. But repetition changes meaning. What you discuss often becomes your mental focus. Focus slowly becomes belief. When every conversation circles illness, the future feels smaller. Aging starts to feel like steady loss. The brain learns through repetition. It listens closely to your words. When aging is framed as decline, motivation fades. Curiosity weakens. You may stop trying new things. Not from fear. From expectation. Many gatherings slowly turn heavy. The room feels quieter. Laughter becomes rare. People begin comparing symptoms, not sharing experiences. This pattern affects mood more than most realize. It quietly reshapes identity. Some begin to introduce themselves through conditions, not interests, not stories. Consider a familiar situation. A small group meets weekly. They sit together for years. At first, conversations are balanced. Life stories, daily moments. Over time, the focus shifts. Aches dominate. Complaints multiply. Everyone listens. No one feels lifted. One day, someone changes the question. Not dramatically, gently. What brought a smile this week? The room pauses. Then answers arrive. A grandchild's message. A successful recipe. A longer walk. Small moments return to the conversation. Energy changes. Faces soften. Voices rise. Over weeks, the tone shifts further. People laugh more easily. They linger longer. Nothing medical changed. But mindset did. This shift matters physically too. Stress responds to language. Constant negativity activates tension. The body stays on alert. Hope and gratitude calm the nervous system. They support resilience. This does not mean ignoring health concerns. Awareness is important. But illness should not become identity. Age should not replace personality. Strong older adults speak about life first. Health second. They ask questions that expand conversations. They invite stories, books, memories, plans. They remember something essential. Aging changes the body. It does not have to shrink the spirit. You can practice this today. Listen to your own words. Notice patterns without judgment. Gently redirect when needed. Ask about joy. Ask about meaning. Small changes alter atmosphere quickly. They restore connection. If this idea resonates, pause for a moment. Acknowledge it. If you're finding value here, leave a comment with number 2. It helps others feel less alone. And if you haven't subscribed yet, consider subscribing. Turn on the bell for future videos. Your support allows calm, thoughtful content to continue. Now, let's move forward. Because the next mistake is even easier to overlook. Number 3. Refusing to learn new things. Another mistake quietly limits life after 70. It begins with a simple belief. I'm too old to learn. Many people repeat this without questioning it. They assume learning belongs to the young. This belief slowly closes doors. Not all at once. Gradually. The brain is designed to adapt. It changes through use, not age. When the brain stops facing new challenges, it becomes less responsive. Not broken. Just underused. Learning is how the brain stays flexible. It keeps attention sharp. It keeps curiosity alive. Trying something new creates fresh connections. These connections support memory and clarity. Without new input, thinking becomes repetitive. Days begin to feel similar. Routine grows comfortable, then limiting. Many older adults say they feel mentally slower. Often, their minds are simply bored. Learning does not require classrooms or exams. It starts with interest. A new recipe. A new topic. A new tool. Small challenges send a powerful signal. I am still growing. Consider a common experience. An older adult decides to try something unfamiliar. Technology, art, music. At first, frustration appears. Buttons feel confusing. Steps are forgotten. This moment stops many people. They interpret discomfort as failure. But discomfort is part of learning. It always has been. With repetition, confusion eases. Confidence grows quietly. Suddenly, progress appears. Not perfection. Progress. Many describe this moment clearly. It feels like mental energy returns. They feel more alert, more engaged. This shift affects mood too. Learning creates purpose. It introduces anticipation into the day, something to look forward to. People begin seeing themselves differently, not as limited, as capable. This change matters deeply after 70. Identity shapes behavior. When you believe growth is possible, choices expand. When you believe learning ended, life contracts. The most damaging habit is retreating into familiarity only. It feels safe. But safety without challenge leads to stagnation. Learning does not mean mastering skills. It means engaging curiosity, gardening techniques, local history, simple instruments. Each new attempt strengthens mental confidence, not ego, confidence. A curious mind ages differently. It remains open. The question is not ability. It is willingness. Stop saying learning belongs to the past. It belongs to now. Each new effort reminds the brain it matters. It reminds you that growth continues. And when the mind stays active, life feels fuller. But learning alone is not enough. Because there is another quiet mistake. One that affects motivation even more deeply. Number 4. Living without a sense of purpose. This mistake often arrives quietly, but its effects reach deep into daily life. It begins when purpose slowly disappears. Not suddenly, gradually. Many people believe usefulness ends after retirement. They may never say it aloud, but they feel it in their routines. Work ends. Children grow independent. Social roles change. Days lose structure. Weeks feel similar. Without noticing, goals fade away. Plans stop forming. Mornings arrive without intention. Evenings pass without reflection. This absence affects the spirit more than physical aging. Purpose gives direction to effort. It answers a simple question. Why does today matter? When purpose weakens, motivation follows. Energy often declines next. People begin to drift rather than decide. Time fills itself. Research consistently shows something important. People with purpose tend to stay engaged longer. They remain mentally active. They maintain stronger emotional balance. Purpose acts like fuel. It gives meaning to small actions. Without it, even comfort feels empty. Rest feels heavy. Purpose does not need to be grand. It needs to feel personal. Caring for a garden creates responsibility. Helping a neighbor creates connection. Sharing experience creates relevance. Listening creates value. Even small roles anchor the day. They give time a shape. Without purpose, days blur together. Memory of them fades quickly. Consider a familiar situation. An older adult spends most days at home. Television fills the silence. Hours pass unnoticed. Conversation becomes rare. He believes he is resting. In truth, he is waiting. Waiting slowly dulls the spirit. Then something small changes. A simple request appears. Can you help with this? Reading stories once a week. Sharing memories. At first, it feels minor. Almost inconvenient. But preparation begins. Attention returns. Interest slowly grows. Confidence follows. Weeks gain structure again. Days feel useful. Energy shifts. Mood lifts. What changed was not treatment. It was relevance. Purpose reminds people they still matter. That presence still adds light. Many older adults underestimate their influence. Their experience carries weight. Years of lessons cannot be replaced. They are needed. When wisdom is shared, connection forms. Connection strengthens identity. Without intention, worry fills empty space. Thoughts wander toward loss. But one meaningful task creates momentum. A walk with purpose. A call with intention. A project with meaning. Purpose does not arrive by waiting. It is created through action. Even a small purpose changes direction. It restores engagement. You do not need permission to matter. You already do. Start small. Stay consistent. Meaning grows through use, not perfection. If this message resonates, pause for a moment. Reflect on what gives your day value. If you're finding this helpful, comment number 4 below. It helps others feel understood. And if you haven't subscribed yet, consider subscribing now. Turn on the bell for future videos. Your support helps keep this space calm and thoughtful. Now let's continue. Because the final mistake is often the hardest to notice. Number 5. Neglecting emotional health. This final mistake is often invisible, yet its impact reaches every part of life. Many older adults carry emotional weight quietly. Loneliness, regret, unspoken sadness. They rarely talk about it. They normalize it. They tell themselves it is just aging, something to endure. This belief causes harm. Emotional pain does not fade by ignoring it. When emotional health is neglected, the body responds. Energy weakens. Motivation fades. Connection slowly disappears. Life feels smaller. Emotional health shapes physical health more than many realize. Stress affects sleep. Sleep affects strength. Isolation affects memory. Mood affects resilience. Happiness later in life is not about constant positivity. It is about staying open. When emotions are suppressed, the nervous system stays tense. The body remains alert. Joy becomes harder to access. Pleasure feels distant. When connection returns, the body notices. Breathing deepens. Sleep improves. Small moments begin to matter again. Consider a common experience. An older adult lives alone after a major loss. Days pass quietly. Social contact becomes rare. Conversation feels unnecessary. They feel unseen. Not bitter. Just invisible. Then a simple invitation appears. A shared activity. At first, hesitation takes over. I won't fit in. But curiosity wins. One afternoon is enough. Laughter returns unexpectedly. Stories begin to flow. That single connection opens a door. More follow. Over time, appetite improves. Sleep deepens. Mood becomes steadier. Energy returns gradually. Nothing dramatic happened. Connection did the work. Emotional health grows through contact, not through isolation. Connection does not require large gestures. Small moments matter most. A phone call. A shared meal. A brief conversation at the shop. A smile exchanged. These moments release calming signals in the body. Stress softens. The heart responds. The mind relaxes. Emotional health is not optional. It is essential. Loss and change are unavoidable. Withdrawal is not. You can feel grief and still stay connected. You can feel sadness and still engage. Opening emotionally does not mean weakness. It means courage. Each expression of feeling restores humanity. It brings color back into life. Many people believe it is too late. It rarely is. Forgiveness remains possible. Reaching out remains possible. New joy can still be discovered. Often quietly. Those who age well are not free from difficulty. They stay connected through it. They allow themselves to feel. They allow themselves to receive support. This choice protects the spirit. It preserves vitality. Caring for emotional health is wisdom in action. It says life still matters. It says connection still matters. It says joy is still welcome. And that belief keeps the spirit awake. Aging does not make anyone foolish. Ignoring gentle lessons over time can. These 5 mistakes are not about intelligence. They are about awareness. Most people fall into them quietly, not through carelessness. They happen when attention drifts from what truly matters. Strength, purpose, connection, curiosity. When these areas fade, life feels smaller. Not suddenly, gradually. But something powerful happens when habits change. Awareness restores choice. You do not simply avoid decline. You rediscover freedom. Movement feels easier. Thoughts feel clearer. Daily life feels calmer. More intentional. You begin to notice something important. Growing older brings perspective. It brings clarity about what matters and what no longer does. The value of aging is not measured in years remaining. It is measured in wisdom gained. Age does not remove your influence. It refines it. You still shape conversations. You still shape moments. You still inspire through presence, through listening, through example. You can still love deeply, laugh freely. You can still learn, still grow. Small decisions create meaningful change. Walking a little farther, speaking differently, choosing patience, choosing joy over complaint, choosing connection over withdrawal. These choices add life to years, not years to life. Pause for a moment now. Reflect gently. Are there habits quietly draining your energy? Are routines running on autopilot? Awareness is the first step. Release is the next. Today is not too late. It is exactly right. You have come too far to live unconsciously. Too far to shrink quietly. Choose attention. Choose intention. Choose growth without pressure. Choose peace without perfection. Thank you for spending this time with us. Your presence here matters. If something resonated today, share it below. Tell us one idea you want to carry forward. Your reflections help others feel understood. They encourage meaningful conversation. If you found this video helpful, consider liking it. It supports calm, thoughtful content. Subscribe if you wish to continue this journey with us. Turn on the bell for future reflections. Your support allows this space to remain steady and respectful. We truly appreciate it. Thank you for watching. We look forward to seeing you again soon.